Welcome back. In today's video, we will cover a topic called the binary search tree. So we will see the introduction, what is a binary search tree, and then we will also see how we can search any element in a binary search tree. Now, till this moment we are aware of a binary tree. One of the major problem that we felt is how we can search an element basically. See, in the binary tree we can store our data, but we do not have a particular pattern or a particular way to insert. Any data can be stored anywhere. In such a case, insertion, deletion and searching becomes a tedious work. So we'll move towards a more efficient data structure called as a binary search tree that is more efficient for searching, insertion and deletion. So basically our purpose is we will understand how the binary search tree works, how the data are stored in the binary search tree, and how it makes searching, insertion and deletion efficient. Now first we have to understand a binary search tree property. Now for every node X, I am saying for every node X, all the keys in the left subtree, see here, all the keys in the left subtree are smaller than the key value in X. See, it means one thing I am saying again, for every node X, this is important. Here, if you consider here, this is just a portion of a tree. But you should understand in this way, for every node X you have, any node in the given tree, binary search tree, all the keys means all the nodes that have some data in the left subtree are smaller than the key value in X. Key value is the data that is being stored inside that particular node, and also all the keys in its right subtree are larger than the key values in X. So the left subtree will have for every node X, all the values and all the keys that is present in the left subtree are smaller, strictly smaller, and all the keys in its right subtree are strictly greater. So okay, do not consider it only for the root, consider it for every node at every level. You can consider it just n minus 1 also, no issue. Starting from 1 as a root, 0 as a root, so n minus 1 also, or n minus 2 level also. Any level, any node, if you consider, the left subtree keys are strictly smaller, and for the right subtree, every keys would be strictly greater. Such a tree is called as a binary search tree. You can see here, for a given node X, for any node Y in the subtree, where the key value of Y should be strictly less than the key value of X. Similarly, for any node Z in this subtree, the key of Z, that is the node that is present in the right subtree, should be strictly greater than the key value of X. You can consider it here in this way. For any node Y in the subtree, Y in the subtree. Subtree means this is the left subtree. The key value of Y should be strictly less than the key value of X. Similarly, for any node Z that is present in the right subtree, should be strictly greater. The key value should be strictly greater than the key value of X. Okay. Now we'll see some of the binary search tree. Okay. So we'll find here, for given this value 6, the right subtree value is 8, that is greater, and all the values in the left subtree, you can see here 2, 4, 3 and 1 is smaller than 6. Okay, so from here it is fine. I will jump it here. So 2, for 2 here, see for 2 here, what is the value in the left subtree? 1, that is smaller, that is fine. And what about in the right subtree? 4 and 3 are greater, so fine. So okay, then I will see in the left subtree, since we have only one node, so we do not need to further verify. We come here, see for this particular tree, a subtree, see the 4 is the root. For 4, 3 is the left, so 3 should be strictly smaller, that is fine. I can probably say this particular tree is a binary search tree. Now consider it here. For 6, it is fine, it is greater. But in the left subtree, you can see here in the left subtree, 1 is okay, 2 is okay, 3 is okay, 4 is okay, but 7 is not okay. It is not allowed. Hence, it is not a binary search tree because we have 7 here. You can see here, we have 7 present here, and that's why 7 is greater than the 6 and it should not be present in the right subtree. Sorry, 7 is greater than the 6 and it is present in the left subtree of 6. Hence, it is not a binary search tree. And in this case, it is a binary search tree. So this one is a binary search tree, and this is not a binary search tree because of this node. Because of this particular node, because it is present in the left subtree of 6, and that is not allowed. It is a binary search tree. It is not a binary search tree. Now, one thing you should understand: a binary search tree, a same set of the keys may have a different binary search tree as per their insertion order. You can see here, even both the trees, we have the same set of the keys, but just the order changes in which order we have inserted inside this binary search tree, that will create a different binary search tree. So that is the thing that you have to understand. So both of the tree are the binary search tree without any problem. You can consider here for this 5, all the nodes in the right subtree are greater and all the nodes in the left subtree are smaller. Similarly for this particular binary search tree. What you have to understand here is, since the order of the insertion of the keys actually makes different binary search tree. In both the cases, the key values are same. We have 6 keys in both the trees, and also the keys are same. But in whatever the order we have inserted into this binary search tree, will create a different BSTs. Average depth of this particular tree or a node, for a particular node, average depth would be order of log n. So if it is a balanced tree, the node average depth would be order of log n. But since skewed trees are possible here, you can see in this way: 2, 3, 4, 5. Since the left skewed and the right skewed trees are possible in the binary search tree, the maximum depth of a node can jump up to order of n. So in the worst case, the maximum depth of a node can jump up to order of n. Otherwise, if it is a balanced tree, the average depth of a node would be order of log n base 2. Now, then the next problem is how we can search something, a key in a binary search tree. So if we are searching for a root 15, then we are done. Okay. Otherwise, if we are searching for a key that is less than the root, then we should search in the left subtree. Obviously, if 15, this is the 15, that is my root. If you are searching for 15, that is fine. If you are searching anything, any key value that is less than the root, that is less than 15 here, I have to search in the left subtree. Or if you want to search a value or the key that is more than the root node, that is more than 15, I have to search in the right subtree. That you have to understand. It is just a recursive way. You have to keep doing the same thing again and again. Now, just consider here. Suppose I am looking for 15. Okay. So I will compare with. I will go here root. I will compare. Is 15 equal to 9? Okay. I will compare 9 and 15. 9 is smaller than 15. I will go to the left subtree here. Now 6. I will compare 9 and 6. Obviously the 9 is greater than 6. So I will go here. See, I have to choose the right subtree because obviously 9 should be present in the right subtree of that particular tree. Now suppose I am at 7, I will compare with 9. Obviously 9 is greater, that means I have an indication that I have to choose the right subtree in this way. Okay. Now I am at 13, I will compare 9 and 13. Accordingly, the 9 is smaller, then I will choose the left subtree since 9 is smaller. Now I got 9 and 9, I found my element and this I am looking for. In this way you can search a particular key inside a binary search tree. Simple it is. Start comparing with the root, and accordingly if it is equal to the value, then fine, I will stop at that given node, or I will just try to find whether the number I'm looking and whatever the number or the key that is present at that particular node, if the my value is smaller, then I will choose. If whatever the number I'm looking is smaller than the current key, then I will choose the left subtree. If the my key value, that suppose whatever the value I'm looking is greater than the current key value, I will go to the right subtree. Accordingly, left and right you will go until you will reach that particular node. Now, see the searching algorithm here. How the searching algorithm works. So, fine. Now, it needs certain parameters, information, left, right, that is the portion of the node, root, that is the root node, item that you are looking for, and there two you say the pointers that will lastly will be returned. So LOC will return the location of the key that I am looking for, and the PAR will return the parent of the location. Okay, that is important. LOC will return the location of the key I am looking for, and the parent PAR will return the parent of the location if present. Find the item in tree with root is root and info left right is the 3 array present in the memory. This algorithm returns LOC, that is the location of the item, and PAR, that is the parent of the location. Now, see, the first condition is empty condition, if the tree is not present. If root is equal to null, see here, if the root is null, this means I did not have a tree, then set location equal to null, parent equal to null, and return. Obviously, since the tree is not present, what will you search? Otherwise, if item is equal to information of the root, means suppose it is a whatever the item you're looking, see here in this case, I will just take an example. Suppose given in this tree, you're looking for 15. 15 is the root itself. In such a case, if the item is equal to the information of the root itself, then set location equal to root. I will set this location LOC as on root, so the LOC will point to this 15, and parent is equal to null because the root does not have a parent, so PAR equal to null, and then I will return. Now, if this is not the case, I will initialize my pointer PTR and save. So it's asked whatever the suppose I am looking for the value 9 only. I will compare item 9 is less than information of root or not. Okay, the root is 15, so it is smaller. And then what will I do is it says whatever the left root you have, the left side, then set PTR here. So the PTR will now point here, and save equal to root, so the save will point here. I will zoom it at the last, so you will get an idea. Okay, now, so third step number 3 is done. You have chosen the left part. Now, repeat 5 and 6 while the PTR is not null, the PTR is not null, so we are inside the loop. Info item is equal to information of PTR. If so, it is not equal because I am looking for 9. So it says what? Just verify if the item that you are looking for is less than information of PTR. Step number 6. That is again not a case. Else part I will go. It says whatever the PTR is currently pointing, copy to the save. So what will happen here? The save will start pointing this node, and PTR is equal to right of PTR. So the PTR will now point here. The same example I am taking that I have discussed in the previous slide, and this would be deleted. Okay. Now again this loop will continue to work. Now PTR is not null and the current item is not equal to the information of the PTR. So I am looking for 9. Again I will see a condition. I am looking for what value? 9. Is 9 less than the current information, that is 7? No, it is greater. So the else part will work. Else part says whatever the PTR is pointing, the save should point the same thing. So the save will point here to 7 and PTR equal to right PTR. So the PTR will now point here. Simple. Okay, again I will try. Let me delete the old pointer now. P stand for PTR, S stand for save. Now the current value is 13, so PTR is not equal to null. Interestingly, what will happen here is the item is equal to information of PTR? No, because I'm looking for 9, it is 13. So again I will compare. Is 9 less than information of PTR? Yes. 9 is less than 13. It says what? Whatever the PTR is currently pointing, copy to the save. So save will be now pointing here. Save will point here, and PTR will be left of PTR. So PTR will point. Okay, then now again PTR is not null. Then in this case, what have to be done is, if item is equal to information of PTR, this is the lucky situation. My item is equal to the information of PTR, info part of the PTR. Then set LOC equal to PTR. So this means this is my LOC now. And whatever the save you have, that should be the parent. See, the PAR will maintain the parent of the LOC. Okay, so this is the case. Now, so in this way, it is a successful search. And here, then return directly. You can see here, you can return directly. Means you are done. I will try this algorithm one more time. I will try to do an unsuccessful search. Suppose an element is not present. Then in this case, if you're trying to work, how this thing works. The time complexity of this algorithm would be the height of the tree. It could be log n in the average case, or it could be order of n in whenever it is an skewed nature of the tree. Suppose the number you're looking for is 24. Suppose the number you're looking for is 24. I will try again. My tree is not empty, so the step number 1 will not work. What is the root element is 15. It is not equal to the information info of the root. So the step number 2 will also not work because item is not the root itself. Now, item is 24 and the root key is 15. So obviously it is greater. So else part will work. It says if item is less than info of root, but in my case it is greater than the root node. So else part will work. Else says right root is equal to PTR. Right of the root. So this will be the P and this would be the save. Okay, now after this, repeat 5 and 6 while the PTR is not null. If item is equal to info of PTR, currently the PTR is pointing 18, I am looking for 24, so the if part will not work. Step go to the step number 6. 6 says if the item that is 24 is less than 18, no, so else part will work. Else says whatever the PTR contains, copy to the save. So save will point here and PTR would be the right of the PTR. So P would be here. So I will just disable or delete the old pointers here. Okay. Now, again, what is the current PTR? What is the current PTR? PTR is not null. Okay. So is item is equal to info of PTR? If item is equal to info of PTR, no. If it is 20, I'm looking 24. So not the case. Also, what is the item? Item is 24. What is the info of PTR? 20. So item is not less than the info of the PTR. So that part will work. It says whatever the PTR consists, copy to the save. You can see here. Copy to the save. And PTR equal to right PTR. See here, if I jump a right from 20, that is here, the PTR will land to a null position. So after this 20 does not have a right child. that the PTR will point to the null position. So you have to take care of this. Now once it is done, now again we will try the step number that 4, that is the loop condition, while the 5 and 6 while the PTR not equal to null. But interestingly my PTR is null now, so I will directly ignore the step number 5 and 6 and go to the step number 7. Search is unsuccessful, the item is not present. In this case what to be done is, see, set location equal to null, so the location will be null. The location is pointing to a null location, it is not available. But one thing you should understand, it will, whatever the save I have, copy it as a parent. See, this is an important step I am saying again. See, it is maintaining the save. It is maintaining the parent. Why? Because it could be used whenever I am doing the insertion process. I am repeating again. It is maintaining the parent here. The reason behind, location is null, the parent has been saved at the last position. The reason is it will be actually helping us during the insertion process. Okay, so we'll see the same algorithm like in the continuation of this whenever I am doing the insertion one, because insertion the searching is required. So that is all about the searching algorithm. We have all, in both the cases we have seen a successful search and unsuccessful search. The time complexity will be order of height of the tree, to be precise. If it is a balanced tree, the complexity would be order of height, and that is order of log n base 2. Otherwise, if it is a skew tree, it should be order of n. Okay.